I need to glue up these 2 pieces of walnut to create a panel for a project I'm working on. I ripped them on the table saw, but when I hold them together, I see slight gaps and I don't have a jointer. But I do have a router table. So I'm going to attempt to use my router table as a jointer. Stay tuned. Using a router table as a jointer is really only possible if you have 2 fences that can move independently. The outfeed fence needs to be slightly towards you. This one happens to come with these bars in order to set it up in that fashion. So the first thing I did was loosen the outfeed fence so that I can put these bars in. And all you have to do is slide it in behind the fence. And now tighten the fence down. So now there's a slight offset between the infeed fence and the outfeed fence. If I run a straight edge along the fence here, it's going to hit against the outfeed fence. Now I'm just going to move the fence back and line it up, the outfeed fence with the bit. The router is unplugged, by the way. Now I'm going to lock the fence down. So here's one of the boards I'm going to joint with my router table. You can see here very clearly that there's some chip out on the edge. Now you want to examine the board to make sure you're running it with the grain instead of against the grain to avoid any more chip out. And you just run the board through. It's a super easy process. And I forgot to mention earlier, but I was using just a regular straight bit. I'll put a link down below to the one that I was using. And now for the results. You could see here that the chip out that I had showed earlier is completely gone and I have a smooth, clean edge. It's ready for glue up. This method worked great. And now for the joining piece. Here's a little chip out or tear out, whatever you want to call it. I examined the board again to see what grain direction it was going in and just ran the board. Again, just a super easy process. You just want to make sure also that the bit is slightly higher than the board, and that's all there is to it. Now that chip out was gone with one very shallow pass. I didn't need to take much off, but you can totally set this up to take off more material if you needed to. I am loving how easy this was to join these boards using the router table. Well, that was awesome. I'm really happy with the results. There are no more gaps between the boards, and I'm definitely going to be using this method again for edge jointing, cutting boards, and things like that. So now it's time for me to go glue these up and finish up this project. Thank you for watching, and I hope this was helpful.